Hello, Joben. Could you please give an introduction about yourself?
Hello, Roka. So my name is Joben Singh Bajwa. I'm located in Switzerland, born and raised here. I was basically in the army. I was a taxi driver. I was working in construction, working in various kind of fields actually whole in my life. So I worked in sales as well, and I'm 27 years old. And yeah, I'm happy to be here. Also part and member of the real world.
Yep. Okay, so many things you've done throughout your life, even being 27 years old. Um, is there anything to add for why you were in so many different fields instead of just sticking to one, let's say?
Sure. So when I was very young, my grandfather used to tell me, son, when you're sitting down with someone, you should be able to have a talk in the field of whoever is sitting in front of you. So it should not be in a way that they have to adjust to talk about your topics. You should be capable of having a conversation to talk with them. So this kind of led to me having a very broad interest. And when I was about 13 years old, 14 years old, that's when I first time got into money making, and I got the taste of blood. And yeah, so I kind of felt like I'm just gonna do whatever makes money.
Okay, and then while you were going through all those different avenues, how did you discover the real world, and what made you decide to join it?
So it's actually interesting that you're asking that because I have always been someone who is very, very fierce, I believe. I mean, I like to motivate people, I like to kind of inspire people. So I used to always see myself as a mixture between Tony Stark from the Iron Man and Harvey Specter from Suits.
I didn't watch, no.
All right, so these two kind of felt very, very close and relatable to me, and I felt like I'd like to become these kind of people. I saw Elon Musk afterwards. I was like, how is that possible that these people can achieve that and I cannot? Like, they're also human. That's my basic mentality. They're also human, so why can't I do that? And I started with speaking to people, telling them, well, I want to actually become successful. I want to help other people. I believe in team building. I'm in the army as well. I actually got promoted a month ago. I became first lieutenant in the Swiss Armed Forces now. So I've always been someone who likes to aspire for the best. So I don't like to do things if I cannot be the best, and I'm always open to learn more. And then suddenly it was actually right before Corona time when a good friend of mine told me about this bald guy with glasses on. And this guy apparently is always going down on women can't drive, women are bad, stuff like that. You know how it was right before Corona. And I felt like there must be something behind that person. You don't become an internet person, a famous person on the internet, if you are just stupid. So I kind of researched Andrew Tate, found out about Tristan Tate, obviously, and then slowly a little more on what a genius marketing move that guy is actually playing. And I felt very related in the mindset. So that's how I actually got to the real world.
Okay. And what campuses did you end up getting into when you joined?
So when I first joined, I actually joined the social media campus,
Mhm.
and I stick there, used the knowledge, and then I applied them. And then I had a little break from the real world, I must say. And then about a year ago, actually, I got the opportunity of closing a deal of about 850,000 Swiss francs.
Mhm.
And I felt like that's something new for me. I was used to closing deals for about 120, 150K, but that was new. So I felt like, where or how can I ask someone to help me out? And this is how I thought about the real world again. I thought about the business mastery campus. So I did that first, got into the 10K channel. So there is a channel in the real world where you actually can get into if you earn a certain amount of money through the real world and you get connected with other people who have also achieved similar results. So that actually helps you at the end of the day to kind of have a talk with people who are maybe facing the same or equal challenges. And that was actually in January. So I joined that in January and I got a couple of good tips. And I also noticed that there aren't a lot of people who are doing that, right? So I felt like the need and urgency now as well to help out other people in that sense. So I can just, I mean, if someone were to ask me about the real world, I can just say that there is something for everyone. So that means if you are just starting out, if you don't know what to do, there is solutions everywhere. You're with like-minded people, and there is always someone out of these 200,000 students. There will be certainly someone who's facing similar challenges like you, so they can always help you out.
Yep. So did I understand correctly that when you joined the social media campus, you didn't have that much to implement into your own life with it? So you ended up taking a break from the real world, or did you actually utilize it?
I did utilize it. I did utilize it. I used it to actually scale my digital marketing agency.
Mm.
So I'm also owner. So maybe I forgot to tell that before. So I am running 6 companies currently,
Oh, nice.
and I have a digital marketing agency, Bajba Werbekunst. We help small businesses, actually private people, to launch their companies and do their social media part and the website building and everything. So I use that knowledge from the real world for my clients. Funnily, it is in our business strategy that every single person who works for us, we have about 75 people working for us currently. And so basically, every single one of them has to be a member of the real world. We pay that for them. And they have to do the social media campus if they're doing digital marketing for the AI company, Free Mind Tech. Maybe you can see that somewhere here on the screen. So that's my AI company. And there it is just you have to do the AI campus with the Pope and Cam, who, by the way, really explain everything wonderfully. So they actually take their time to answer your questions if you don't understand something, and it's great. Actually, it's great. And maybe you'll think, why am I talking about us? It's actually me and my brothers. Well, brother. We are brothers not by blood, but we're brothers in arms. So Lucas Aman is actually like my second half, just like Tristan Tate and Andrew Tate. It's us too. So we are actually built. We built up the whole empire, and we're still going further every day.
Amazing. So 75 employees, you said that you're paying subscriptions for the real world. Did I understand correctly?
Exactly.
Or at one point
So
did?
not all of them are still in the real world, obviously, because
At
some
one
of them they didn't need it anymore, for example, or maybe they're just doing tasks which don't have to be in the real world. But I actually encourage it. I absolutely encourage it. And there are
Wow,
people from all around the world. We have people in Cambodia, we have people in Pakistan, India, Vancouver, Switzerland, and yeah, we're growing and growing.
amazing. So love to hear that. It was unexpected when you said that many people you require to have gone through the real world in order to
Oh,
work
definitely,
for the company.
100%,
So yeah, it
100%.
makes sense. Completely makes sense. So I wonder if more people will start to do that once they hear your story as well. Then you said at one point you had quit. So after going through the social media campus, you had taken a break. Was that just because of how busy you are? Because of the amount of companies you're running? Was that the
Exactly,
reason? Okay.
exactly. So I just didn't. I was a little poor in time management. Funnily, that was before I met Lucas Awan. So that was I was doing everything on my own. In my whole life, I've launched approximately 74 different projects, and only 6 became successful. And obviously, you want to focus on your business, you want to grow it. I felt like a one-man army show, so I felt like I'm going to do everything on my own. And soon, in about when was it, 2021, I found out that you can't do that. You have to have a team. There is
Yep.
no chance you can compete with those big companies. They have employees, they have teams, they have lawyers, they have everything. So that's how I came to the idea of building my own team and compete with them.
So, what is your approach to business? If you've had 74, you said that you tried to do. So, is it just an idea you get and then you execute, or like how? What is your philosophy behind that?
If you have an idea, launch it. You know the Pareto principle?
Yeah, 80/20.
So Pareto principle, for the ones who don't know, might maybe 80-20. So basically, put in 20% of your energy to achieve 80% of the result. And for the final 20%, you actually use 80% of your energy. So if you have an idea, just act upon it. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be, I don't know, perfectionized, and you don't have to go through every single thing and make it exactly how you want it to be. It's fine, just launch it. The digital marketing agency is it's a classic idea I had when I was at the wedding of my cousin in Vancouver. So I flew out there. That was right after the army time. In Switzerland, every single male person has to go to the army and they do the basic training. And I chose to go further up, just how Lucas did that. And I felt like, you know what? I'm Indian originally. IT is like in my blood. So why not just freaking go out there and build websites? And that led to me contacting just some people around me I knew. I was like, hey, do you need a website? I'll build it for you. And they're like, yeah, well, maybe someday. You know how people are. And then there was this one lovely lady. She actually had this dream of becoming self employed by a dog walking business. It's very interesting. So in Switzerland, there aren't a lot of dog walking uh, businesses, or just in general people who do that for you. So she was like, I'd like to do that, and I'm gonna need a website for that. So what I did at that point, I did not know how to build a website. I'm being honest to you, and obviously I didn't tell her. Obviously, I told her that I'm a fucking genius. I can do that, no problem. Give me 2 weeks. I'll build out a very clean, beautiful website for you. So yeah, those 2 weeks I actually used 13 out of 14 days to just learn about how to make and build websites. And then in that one day, that was actually the wedding night, wedding day of my cousin. So in the same night, I actually took the whole night in Vancouver to build that website for my client. I charged her 30 Swiss francs a month, subscription based, and she did not pay anything to for me to build that website. Funny thing, subscription for that website building website, 24 francs. So I was actually working about, what was that, 100 hours to build that website for 6 francs. Or for people who might not know Swiss francs, it's about roughly five and a half, $6.
Mhm.
So if someone tells me that you need some kind of money and you need expertise and you need to have know-how about certain fields to launch a business, that's all bullshit. Don't believe that stuff. If you have an idea, do everything that you can to just start off, because that one person led me to my second lead that was actually a dog school. They needed a website. So for them, I charged 50 francs. So I went up with the price. Currently, we're charging somewhere between 5 to 15,000 for a website. So
Yep.
that's how you slowly scale up, right? You can't just go in here. You have to start slow and then go up.
Yep. Very good advice for the people listening. And then I'm thinking, with all the businesses you started, I'm sure there are many lessons you get from that. But did you actually still end up learning some unique things from the Business Mastery Campus, even after all the businesses you started? Or were they lessons that you had already gone through yourself?
100%. So for me, the most valuable lesson that I got was actually to believe in myself more. Because, for example, Professor Arno, he's the Business Mastery Campus professor. I mean, he said stuff that I always actually did, and obviously I learned a lot from him as well, just because he is obviously has more experience in life. He's older than me. And but the main thing for me was that everything that he said, people used to tell me, "Oh no, Joben, you can't do that. That's not okay. There's no way you can do that." And the business mastery course at the campus, for example, showed me that I just have to listen to myself. I just have to believe in more in myself. Just keep on going, because at the end of the day, it's you who is paying for your family and taking care of them and protecting them. So it's not going to be the people who don't believe in you who try to pull you down. So the business mastery campus actually gave me a lot of confidence to just keep on going and scaling up.
Got it. And then out of these six businesses you currently have, what did they involve?
Sorry.
What did the six businesses you currently have, what did they involve?
So in what fields they are in? Sure. So the digital marketing agency, you know already. So there we obviously we help out the small businesses. The Free Mind Tech, it's an AI company. We specialize in AI. I built my own assistant long before it was actually famous. I called it Friday. Obviously, for the people who know Tony Stark, Iron Man, there's Jarvis. And Friday afterwards became actually the AI for Tony Stark. And I felt like, wait a second, if that guy can have an AI assistant who manages everything in his life, I want that. And I can do that. There must be a way. So I put up YouTube, I built out my own Friday system, and now we're actually selling that to companies from small to big to private people, corporations, banks, insurances. So we're selling Sunday. It's the selling name of that project is called Sunday, and it's a fully automated AI system that keeps improving itself. And funnily enough, the real world actually shows you on how to build that yourself. And it was a big coincidence. I felt actually very happy because the real world actually uses the same tools as well. So you can literally build Sunday just as I did for the same prices, which are very low, by the way, and without having the hassle of going to trial and error, because they give you actually the master plan on how to build that AI system. They actually teach you on how to get the first clients as well. So it's everything laid out for you. So that's what I did. I had my Sunday project launched, which was actually a coincidence. My lawyer told me to do that because he was like, "You're using that for yourself. I need that. And I know a ton of people who need that as well. So why don't you sell that?" I'm like, "Well, I never thought of that." It's funny, I know, because especially me, someone who's very business oriented, I did not have the idea to sell Friday. But yeah, so that's how I got into the Free Mind Tech company. We I mean there as well. It all happened in a month. So from start of idea to launching and getting the first client, everything was about a month. And obviously it's not perfect, but you keep improving, right? And then I have also launched Nothhelferkurs Zürich, which is translated in English to First Aid Course Zurich. We are the top three providers of first aid courses in region of Zurich in Switzerland. And then we also have the Nothhelferkurs Zug, which is first aid course Zug, which is also first aid courses in the region of Zug, which is also in the inner part of Switzerland. Just quick thing, why first aid courses? So you should imagine, you have to know that in Switzerland, if you want to get the driver's license, you have to have a first aid course. So I used to give first aid courses myself. I did about over 350 courses myself for someone in German. And I noticed a lot of people were speaking English. So I found that niche and I was like, wait a second, there is a demand for English speaking first aid courses, which are in high quality. So I can provide that. Why not? So this is how I actually built that myself. By that time, I knew how to build websites, right? So I built my own website, launched it, got my first few customers, and yeah, that's how I launched that. And then I'm also, well, now I'm not doing that as much as I'd like to, and I'm also a driver's instructor, so a licensed driver's instructor here in Switzerland. Now the question is why? I mean, how come I already have my six businesses? Why is that guy still doing driver's lessons, right? The thing is, I used to drive Uber for 5 years. I have a 4.99 star rating out of 5. I don't know if I'm still the best rated driver in Zurich, in Switzerland, but I know for a fact that I was the best high ranked 5-star driver in Switzerland. And I got to know so many clients for my digital marketing agency. So for all the viewers who think, well, I don't have a business strategy, how would I do the marketing?
Mhm.
So, my recommendation for everyone who is starting out the business and they don't know how to do marketing, speak to people. It's as easy. Speak to people, let them know what you do. So, that's what I did. Every time I was in the Uber, people used to ask me, well, why are you driving Uber? You're such a young person. So I told them, hey, I have a digital marketing agency. I launched that. So I am actually earning money and I'm speaking to you guys. I had CEOs in my car. I had people who were head managers in big insurance companies and tell me as a maybe 22-year-old, how and where would you meet those people in person and get at least 5 to 10 minutes alone with them?
Huge.
It's the best thing. When they're sitting in your car, it all starts with you're driving and it's like, is the temperature all right? And they're like, oh, yeah, thank you very much. And then I'm like, yeah, no worries. Just let me know if you need something. So you show them, I care about you. And then obviously it's the human psychology. They automatically start to ask you, well, wow, you look young. Like, what do you do? And that's how you get into conversation, right? And then they hand you over their visiting card. And the most important thing that I can also give as a tip is don't just take that visiting card and be like, oh, yeah, cool. No, give them your number and tell them to WhatsApp you. So you have their personal number. Get close to them because after these 10 minutes, that guy is probably going to some business meeting, going to his wife, whatever. He's going to forget about that Uber driver. So make sure that you leave a lasting impact on that guy.
Wow.
So yeah, that was that.
Um, was that four things you just named?
Sorry.
Or did I get confused? You said social media agency, AI automation, first aid courses, driving, and two more. Did I?
So no, there are two companies for the first aid courses. These are two companies. And the
Ah,
last thing that I do is I'm also a tax consultant for the highest earning people and the wealthiest people here in Switzerland. So I am actually also, this is my 9 to 5. So my tax consultancy where I work, I actually doing a 9 to 5 there. So the idea behind that is, first of all, in Switzerland, you have to know the tax laws. Otherwise, you're lost. I know a lot of people think Switzerland, what a tax haven. Well, it is if you know what you're doing. And you need to have the right connections for that. And how do you get the nice and the really good connections for example, your tax optimizations, if not if you're working in those fields? I mean, I would have no chance of getting to meet someone like my boss. The boss that I have at the tax consultancy, that's someone who is consulting people who are so rich that you won't find them in Forbes and stuff like that because they don't want that. And he's consulting them. And every time I had a question just for the LLC that I launched with FreeMind Tech, he helped me out with the tax. You know what I mean? So, I mean, we're driving all our cars, they're deductible by tax. For all my Swiss friends out there, yes, it is possible. And it's not Skoda Octavias that we're talking about. We're talking about Mercedes, Ferraris, Maseratis. So you can actually deduct them. You just have to know how. Yeah, and that only happens if you know the right people.
Amazing. You said that's your 9 to 5, but then what about military? I assume that would be more of the 9 to 5. That's something
No,
you
so
did. How much
Switzerland.
time does that take up?
So basically, in Switzerland, you have to do a 4 months basic training, which every male citizen of the age of 18 and above has to do. And after those 4 months, you actually get the rank of private. So now Lucas and me, we chose to go further because, as I said, and he has the same mentality as I do. So basically, we chose to stay there and become the best in what we do. And we became sergeants, did all the training after that, and then I went to the officer school. He became the chief sergeant major of the Swiss Armed Forces, so he did his schooling, and after that, so basically that's 3 years. Bless you. So that's 3 years of army that we did, which you have to do, and then after that you do that once a year for a month.
Mm,
So for me, as I told you a few weeks back, that I was in the army for a month, and so that's 4 weeks where we have to go there each year. And that's basically every male citizen. For the people who have the private rank, they do 3 weeks of army. It's like a repetition course. So you do all the basic stuff again just to not forget. So maybe you've heard that, especially the older people still say that there's a saying that Switzerland is like a small fortress, and every male person in Switzerland owns a gun at his home, which is actually true. So if you think about it, every single one of them has a gun at home, obviously. And we don't have those fucked up gun violences just like in America and stuff like that. I really hope, due to Trump, that that might go a little down now. But you know how it was really bad in America, right? So we don't have that in Switzerland.
yep, yep, yep. Okay, so the next question I was thinking of was, with all the businesses you're running, the ones that you use the real world and in some way, whether it's to train your employees or the lessons that you applied into them, how much would you say you've earned as a result of the real world?
So I just got the information before actually. Due to the real world, we earned about 400,000 Swiss francs, which is roughly probably about 400,000 dollars.
Mhm. So yeah,
And
amazing.
that was this year from January up until now. In total, I cannot tell you. It's probably more than a couple of million.
Wow,
So the
insane.
real world actually helps.
In around 4.5 months. Yeah,
What is it now?
four and a half
Yeah,
months, 100,000. So averaging about almost 100,000 a month, basically.
exactly. And it's still bugging me. It's bugging me. It because I want that 100,000 a month consistently.
Hmm.
I don't like that. Because if you once, that's the same thing as just, if a lion hunts and he gets his first prey, and let's say it's a antelope, he gets that antelope. So now obviously he's not going to be happy with some rabbits, right? He wants it again and again and again. That's what I'm feeling. So I have to talk to my team actually and find out why it's not consistent, and we'll make sure that it stays consistent.
Very cool. Okay. And then what would you say for what kind of an impact has Tate had on you, whether it's your mindset or anything else?
So the impact is probably just to believe in yourself, build teams, loyalty, brotherhood. I mean, if it wasn't to Lucas, I wouldn't have I wouldn't have been capable of doing all that by myself. It's impossible. I mean, obviously, I might have had my projects and I might have just stayed at a certain level. You need brothers. And I don't do anything without Lucas. So Lucas is literally part of my life. And I have a little brother as well, but he's only 16. But even with him, I already sent him into kickboxing. So he's actually doing kickboxing right now. And I told him, you have to have a certain level, which you always have to have in every aspect of your life. If it's physical, we do 250 push ups. We have a group chat where we only post in how many push ups we've done. And if someone has not reached his 250 push ups, we literally call that guy and we're like, what the fuck's wrong with you, man? Do your freaking push ups. So there's a brotherhood that you just have to keep. And I definitely got my not only inspiration, it's also the motivation to just stay who you are and stay consistent. Just do what you do and don't think about the others. Just stay at it.
Yep, yep. Amazing. And then with the trajectory you're on, where do you see your life heading? What plans do you have if you were to lay out short term, medium term, and long term?
So basically, I have my plan. I was 18 when I wrote it down, and I am currently on that track, and it's all working out. Obviously, I hope you understand, I cannot tell you that, but it is all going the way I am actually imagining it. I am very happy about that because it takes a lot. And just for the people who just heard about the 250 push ups, I don't feel like doing them every day, obviously. I don't feel like dealing with all the problems every day, but nobody freaking cares. We are men, just stay at it. So I know for a fact that my goals that I have, I will reach them, and I don't care what it takes for me to reach them. I got Lucas, he got me, so we're gonna push each other. If he has maybe a little bit of a down moment, I'll push him. If I have a down moment, he'll push me. So we keep up going up. And that's maybe something I'd like to give for the viewers as well. Write down your goals. There is no chance that you can achieve something if you don't know what you're trying to achieve. How would you do that? It makes no sense. If you have your dream house in your mind, I mean, we're living in a beautiful villa. We have a heated pool. It's 9 bedrooms. It's quite big. So it looks a little similar to the Tate's mansion in Romania. And if you don't have a vision in your mind that you want to achieve, you cannot achieve it. Otherwise, you'll just be like a lemming going from left to right. You'll be like, oh, cool, money. And what do I do with that? Because a lot of people only think about, I want to earn money. But what will you do when you have it? What's then? You're just going to sit down, write it down, and figure it out then? You're losing time, man. You're losing money, actually. If you take your time at that point of life when you already have the money and now you need to figure out what you're going to do with that money, well, good luck with that because people don't wait. Life moves on. And then suddenly, by the time you figured out what you're going to do with your money, there's no point in having it anyway. So you lost all your connections, you lost all of your work that you actually should have been doing during that time.
Yep.
So you should write it down and have a clear path where you want to be and when you want to be there. And what I like to do is consequences. There should be a little fear in your own brain for yourself. And I'm not talking about consequences in the sense of, I don't know, start drinking and fucking smoking marijuana and shit like that. Forget that. I'm talking about if I don't achieve my goal in a day, my own consequence is, for example, I'll do 500 push ups. So automatically, the consequence, it's good for my body. So it helps me at the end of the day because that will give me more muscle ache tomorrow, which will keep on reminding me tomorrow to not fuck up the day. And automatically, it still helps me because I get stronger.
Got it. So yeah, it shows what you're talking about, the mindset you have, and it makes sense how you're able to run 6 companies and how you've made the money that you've made.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
And I'll wrap up with a final question then. So, since you utilize the real world and it's benefited you in quite a considerable way, what would you say to people who are unsure about joining because they think maybe they'll get scammed for $50 or they're just unsure whether it's worth the $50?
Well, to be honest, in Switzerland, the minimum wage is about 20 Swiss francs an hour. I know it's a lot compared to a lot of the countries where our viewers are from, but even if it's, let's say, $10 an hour, even if it's just $5 an hour, that's approximately 10 hours of work. So, equivalent, $50 is about 10 hours of work. So, are you telling me that 200,000 people believe in the system? Let's say about 150,000 actually use the real world. 50,000, let's just use them as people who have subscribed but then forgot about it. Let's say 150,000 people believe in the system. You're paying $50 for one whole month. It does not matter when you log in. It's 24/7 available. You can log in whenever you want. You can type in, you can get the expertise that you need. Hell, you can actually go in for $50. You could get advice where you would in the actual here in the world out here, you would probably pay about $1,000, $2,000. So are you telling me that you're aspiring for big dreams, you want to become successful, you want to become a millionaire, and you think that that happens without risk? Good luck with that mindset, man. Really, good luck. Because business is risk, making money is risk. So if you're not willing to take the risk of $50, forget it. Then stop watching these videos. Go to fucking Instagram Reels. Go to TikTok. Doom scroll your way. I don't know, man. Like I wouldn't know. How can you be hesitant to pay $50 if you go and I mean you can't even have a dinner for $50, man. Obviously, people will think, well, I can have a kebab, I can have a durian for $5. Well, then do that, man. What should I say? Then do that. But then we're just not on the same table. I'm sorry. So if you actually want to become successful, then you have to be able to do risk assessment, do your own assessment, do your due diligence, watch these videos. If you can see that people have gotten successful messages and they've gotten somewhere in their life, even if it's just a little bit, isn't it worth to try it at least? Aren't you worth it yourself?
Very well said. All right. And now that was very nice to end off on. So, for people who want to find out more about you or contact you, why can they do so?
So basically, first of all, if you type in my name in Google, the first two pages is me. So Joben Singh Bajwa is my name. Second thing, if you're interested in AI, then Free Mind Tech. If you're interested in digital marketing, especially if you're a small company or you're someone who actually has an idea, it's the Bajwa Werbekunst. I know it's a German name, but we do international business and we actually help out a lot of people. Lucas and me, we are actually financing a school in India. So for the people who might think, oh, well, wow, earning so much money, we actually try to do our part for the good in the world. And we help out these children as well. So if you are someone who wants to become successful and needs like one-to-one mentoring, we do that for free as well. We only do about 2 to 3 people a month and at a time. So as soon as the slot opens up, we help those people. That's no problem. Because you can't become successful if you're egoistic and you only think about yourself. You have to make sure that people around you, people with like-minded mindset, they can also become successful. So search us up and we'll help you. Hit us up on LinkedIn. And yeah, that's that.
Amazing. So, Jopen, 27 years old, insane mindset, built 6 companies, built 74 companies, at least tried, and then ended up with 6 that you focused on all your efforts on to scale. So, thank you for coming on. I'm sure out of everything you've said, people have gotten some very good insights from it. And I will leave all your contacts in the description of the video. So if anyone wants to contact you for business or just to see what you're up to, then they can check in the description.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, with the trajectory you're on, man, a few more years, insane. I mean, I can't even fathom where you'll be as long as you're on this trajectory. Maybe I'll be seeing you somewhere on Forbes billionaire list. Who knows? We'll see.
Well, Lucas and me, we're actually in the UN. We're members for AI for developing countries in the council. So we'll
Oh
be
wow.
in Dubai actually in September, October. So maybe if you're there, we can meet up.
Okay, so can keep in touch with that. But we'll wrap everything up there. Thank you for coming on, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.